Okay, I think we're live. You'll have to excuse me. This is the second time only I'm using what's it called? StreamYard. I'm not a professional at live streaming, so please let me know if. I'm sorry about the delay, but please let me know if you can hear me and see me and all that. Hopefully it works. It actually did work earlier today when I did the morning live stream. Okay, so hopefully we should be okay. I see that there are some comments here. All good, wonderful, wonderful. I'm okay. So Salman Rushdie has been attacked on stage in New York. He was there doing a lecture, I believe, and a man rushed up onto stage and attacked him and the interviewer as well. But Salman Rushdie has been stabbed multiple times. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know for sure. At least we do know that he has been stabbed. He's been rushed to hospital. Uh, I checked the news right now, and he's on the operating table as we speak. I believe that was the last news I got before I set up the live stream here. And this is okay. I see that there are some people here who actually don't know who Salman Rushdie is. He's a very famous author. He's the guy who wrote Satanic Verses. He comes originally from India. He himself has a Muslim background, if I'm not mistaken, and he had a big breakthrough with Satanic Verses. And there was issued a fatwa. He's been living with that for 30 years. He's 75 now, and this is serious. Okay, so I'm a novelist myself, and my previous publisher in Norway was the same publisher as Rushdie's publisher, Rushdie's Norwegian publisher, and the chief editor in that publishing house was also put on the fatwa list, and he was shot. William Nygaard, he was shot just outside his house several years ago, and it is maybe the one incident that shocked us in the literary business as the most. It is horrible. And lately, we have been thinking that it's been a while now, many years, and Salman Rushdie is doing public, he's on stage in public and so on, and he has been for many years, and we were thinking that maybe he can live a normal life, and I think he pretty much has lived a normal life during the for at least a few years now, and now this happens. So Now, okay, so this is this has to do with freedom of speech, and I can think of no better example than this. And uh, I I I haven't had time to prepare much for this live stream or anything like that. I've just I just wanted to say a few words about this. Those of you who pray for his survival. We don't know if he will survive, and his family and all that. It's just tragic. It's horrible. It is horrible. Um, but I will say this: we will not let anyone. We will not let anyone use violence. We will not be silenced. Okay, we will have freedom of speech. We will not be silenced by violence, by threats of violence, by threats of whatever. I mean, canceling, or uh, rude words, and that's that's almost like, it seems like a joke now compared to this. But my main point here is that they will not win this. Okay, whatever your opinion is, whatever your stance on things, whatever you believe in, you have the right to express yourself. Um, and that's at the core of democracy, a good society, a good life. It is. Without that, without freedom of speech, without freedom of expression, we have no freedom at all. So as a novelist, I depend on freedom of speech. I Yeah, okay. I'm a bit emotional about this. So, okay, I will. This is not going to be a long live stream. What I will, I should have said this. I just from the start, I should have said that I will not tolerate any hate or anything like that in the chat. It's not okay. We must be better than those people who use threats of violence and violence to try to silence other people. We must be better than those. We must be we must be better than them. And I think we are. I think we are. Okay. LAT says authors should never be afraid. It is true. It is true. Um, oh, that was just an alarm I have on my watch here. Let's see. It's unacceptable, says Joe Morgan. Unacceptable that someone was harmed for writing a book. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Jake says, I went drinking with Russia years ago. Super nice guy. Yeah, he comes across as a very nice guy. That must have been awesome. um, so let's see here. Okay. The chat is moving very rapidly. Um, okay. Yeah. LAT says, just glad to hear you make this clear. We must be better. Yes. And it can be tempting to point at people of a certain faith and say that they are to blame, but I don't think we should do that, because we need to understand the principle here. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I mean, it's hugely problematic. Okay, and it's a glorification of violence, and I if I start even talking about that belief system, I get very upset, very angry. But I'm trying now to do as I just said. We must be better than those people there. So they are hateful. They hate us, but we must not be um, let hate control us. Okay, we must stay true to our principles. And I don't know if I'm using the correct words here, but I'm just trying to say that um, the most important thing here is that we will not be silenced. Okay, we will not be silenced. Um, so okay, Wolfo Odin, good to see you as always. I have this feature here on StreamYard. I can click on a comment and it shows here. I'm just getting into it. It's it's a bit of a mystery, but I will figure it out. Okay. Um, so I'm just scrolling up a little bit. So many comments. Um, yeah. So I don't know what this will lead to, and I don't know the consequences, but I can tell you that for any novelist and publisher, um, I mean, what we are now thinking is that um, things will be different after this, because even after 30 years, the fatwa still, I mean, this happened. It's a tragedy. It truly is, and I just hope that he makes it. I mean, I don't know. I guess we will know tomorrow. Hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed and all that. So I don't know, but I will. Here's the thing, I will not be silenced, and I will be on stage if I'm asked to be on stage and so on. Um, and but the problem is that it even if the author says that, okay, I will come and I will read from my book, I will do this lecture and this and that, the all the people around her has a responsibility for the whole thing. So you can't expect everyone working in, for instance, the theater where the lecture is being held, to you know to risk their lives. And in reality, when something like this happens, um, in the publishing houses, they talk, and they have a responsibility for their employees, and of course they do, you know. So this is extremely problematic. Okay. I see that there are people who don't know. I will say it again. Salman Rushdie is a very famous author. He was born in India, I believe. He has Muslim background, and he is 75 now. He wrote a book called Satanic Verses, and because of his take on Islam there, um, he it and a fatwa was issued, uh, and he's been living with that fatwa, which is a death sentence. Okay, for he's been living with that for 30 years, and now he was stabbed, I believe, in the neck on stage. Now, just a few hours ago, he's in hospital now. We don't know. He, last I checked before I went live here, and he is alive. That's all I know. Um, so it, it now I will say this also. Okay, he Salman Rushdie is maybe the most famous author who's been living with threats of being killed and threats of violence and so on. He's the most famous author who has been living with this. Now, I get newsletters from the Writers Guilds. I am a member of two Writers Guilds here in Norway, and we have friends in other countries, like the Writers Guilds in other countries. We communicate with them, of course. There are sadly several authors who are also living with threats of violence. Some are put in jail, some are tortured. And what I'm trying to say here is that it is something we are seeing in the more totalitarian countries where the state is very mighty, very strong. It's not actually something you only see in Muslim countries. Um, it has been a problem for several years in Russia, um, and I have some of these books here. Yeah, there are a couple of other countries. Oh, I can't remember now. Yeah, at least two other countries in Eastern Europe, I think. And no, I'm sorry, I should have checked. But what I'm what I'm trying to say is that this is something that we are seeing. It is happening, sadly, in several countries, and it's just horrible. It is horrible, and now this happens. I don't know how to solve this. I don't have any answers. I'm starting to think that this is maybe a battle that will never end. I'm starting to think that you will always have people who can't take they can't accept criticism. They get to power. um, they get to power and they cannot accept any voices that are critical of what they are doing. What can we do? Well, I think maybe the only thing we can do is to use our voices. Um, on social media, when you talk to friends and family, don't be afraid. Speak your mind. And I think also as an author myself, I mean, we as authors, as novelists, we have a responsibility we must not be afraid. We must use our voice or our pen, because the pen is mightier than the sword. Isn't that what they say? Um, and maybe it's just, this never-ending battle, and we cannot stop fighting, because if we do, they win, and we can't let that happen. Um, so, okay, yeah, and and again, um, hate is not the answer. I I am. It's like I'm okay. Okay, I'll just say it. Islam is a problem. If you look at the world, Islam is a problem because it's being the way it is being practiced, if that's the right word, is extremely violent, intolerant, and a lot of bad things comes with it. So that's one thing that we need to keep in mind. At the same time, there are people who call themselves Muslims who are themselves victim of this. There are Muslim authors, there are Muslim novelists. So we cannot sink down to that level where we start hating people for being whatever. That's not the answer. If we do that, we we have lost. We can't. We ca It's like we can't give them that. We shouldn't give them that because, in a way, I think that's what they want. So we cannot let hate win this. It sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Um, I'm, I should come as no surprise that I'm not a fan of Islam. If we look at the whole concept, I'm not a fan. You know, but this is not really about that, as I just said. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I think we know the motivation now. I mean, it's obvious, right? This individual who attacked Salman Rushdie, I think we can kind of make a guess on what motivated him to do that. Um, but yeah, I'm rambling here. Um, no, Ranveig, it's I know, but I know what you're saying, but I will not be. This is about using your voice, so I will not be careful. So, Okay. Okay. As I said, we are seeing people being, especially authors and also journalists, being victims to violence, abduction, and murder in several countries around the world, and not only in Muslim countries. So keep that in mind. I think, as a whole, this has more to do with a lack of understanding of freedom of speech and that concept. Okay. um, and Bernhard says to be careful is part of the problem. Yes. Um, and Steve says, remember when you could talk and not worry about violence? Yeah, I actually remember that back in the good old days. So, okay. It is, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway. Growing up and as a youth, and I, I think it's ironic that back then, um, being a Norse heathen was viewed as, well, practically you're either you believed either in Satan, or you were a neo-Nazi, or something really bad, because people were ignorant and judgmental, as people are. While even back then, you couldn't say anything bad about any Abrahamic religion, you know, not Christianity, not Islam, certainly not Judaism. Anyway, I just I think it's nice to walk in the woods and listen to the wind in the trees, but I'm the extremist. Okay, yeah, okay, I disagree with that, but what do I know? Growing up in the 70s, last generation not attached to phones. Good days. Yes, absolutely. Um, so, garden prepping says, I find my faith in nature too. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm older than you. I think my guess is that I'm older than you, Kjetil. Um, and it was different before. So, okay. Leo says being a pagan in the 80s was fun. Thankfully, the hassle was never violent. Yeah, that's a good thing. You were only ridiculed, So, um, Bernard says you're a survival extremist. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I haven't been tested to the extreme. So, okay. Yeah, let's not get into that. I feel really bad about the whole thing. I have a bad feeling, you know. I just I just hope that he survives and without any damage to his, I don't know, neck and spine and all that. Yeah, I would like to go to the USA, or go back, I should say, because last time I was there, I only got 1 day out in the woods there. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I really hope that he will live. Can you imagine the burden that he's been carrying for the rest of us for all those years? Can you imagine? I will go as far as saying that he is actually a true hero. Um, that's my opinion. Well, Wolf of Odin, that's very kind of you. I think you'll have to need you need another you need a change to change the old man there in the um, in the White House and before before I can go to the USA. Um, Redneck Heathen, good to see you as well. And I saw you did and you uploaded a Heathen Hangout, so it's spreading. It's spreading. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I talked to or I got a message from Matthias Treeman who his channel, that's where I got the ID for the term, and he said it's fine that other people are using the same term. um, uh, you'll have to check the news. We'll be finishing this live stream very soon, and I will check the news again. I really hope that he survives. uh, and we just had a shooting in Oslo, the capital of Norway, um, during the whole Pride parade thing, um, and I can't remember how many was killed. Some people were killed actually, um, and same it same thing. Young person, young man from that Middle Eastern part of the world, I think, and just horrible, you know. And we can talk about the whole pride thing and we can criticize it and all that, but and it should be debated. I think it should be debated, and we can talk about that and I won't get into that now, okay? But these people, they go there and they kill because they can't accept that people who are different from them are alive. It's it's I don't have the words for. I don't know what to say. um I don't know what to say. No. I think, like, if you're a sensible human being, you will, I guess, the only time you would think it's okay to take a life is if you have to defend yourself or your family, right? But these people, they go there and they want to and they try to take a life of someone else just because they are different or they disagree. Yeah, okay. That's wonderful. Thanks a lot for that awesome donation. Um, that's very kind of you. Um, that's very kind of you. I will. I'm working on the whole setup here. There will be a donation button here somewhere, I believe. I haven't gotten that to work, but at least there should be an option to donate to Soy Dog, which is an animal charity in Asia. I will, yeah, YouTube and the whole thing, they are always making changes. So I need to keep up with that. I'm quite busy now. By the way, and because of my book, I have a deadline on Wednesday, in Wednesday, 5 days, 4 days. No, yeah, 5 days. So I'm quite busy. That's actually, ironically, why I'm doing more live streams, because I'm trying to make up for not being able to make the more proper videos on my main channel, because that takes a lot more time. But this one, I just had to say something about it. Luke and Mom, good to see you. It's Salman Rushdie. Sadly. That's true words, Steve. The world is filled with absorbed idiots that feel that their way is the only way. Exactly. Exactly. Um, and I think since I get into the heathen topics here quite a lot, at least in modern heathenism, um, we don't claim to know everything. We actually believe that there are lots of things we don't know. Um, it's more about a connection, and it's okay not to have the answers. And I think wondering about things should be more encouraged. Um, so, okay, I'm going to end the live stream now, and I don't know. Hopefully, the chat should show actually in the recording of this on YouTube. Let's hope for that. There are other people using this software who make it work. And I should be able to make it work as well. Okay. That's all for now. Your thoughts and prayers, if you pray, and your whatever, send it his way. Okay. We need people like that. Okay. I usually say have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. But I won't lie. It's a bit. It's this is not good. It's not good. But we must, as I said, we must not become hateful, and we must not let these people win. Okay. Bye.